The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is an interesting one. Based on the fact we had Jose Benavidez Sr., who trained his son David Benavidez to have a great, great fight. Um, Overall, I think everyone on this panel likes Jose Benavidez. I like when he talks his trash. In the little press conferences and to the media, the boxing media. I think it's hilarious. So we didn't put Jose Benavidez Sr. on this list, but we got to thinking about who's one boxing dad we would get rid of. Just if we can remove their contributions from the sport, which boxing dad has to go? Kenny Porter, Teofimo Lopez Sr., Big John Fury, or Angel Garcia, Crazy Angel. Now, this is crazy. I don't know who I got to turn this over to first, man. I'm going to have to turn it over to G, man. I don't know. Let's see who G is.
All right, word. So now my pick for the daddy that got to go has to be Angel Garcia. I got to explain. Danny is the one, out of all the guys on this list, the one guy that always fell short in the big fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, every big fight he had, they dropped the ball. And it's like, what's going on in that camp? You know what I mean? Like, it's like when I be like, hey, Danny Garcia is a flat-footed fighter, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, because there's other fighters that are flat-footed, but they're just excellent with, like, other things. So, like, counters, right? It's like, hey, I may not be able to catch you in that ring, like with my legs, because I'm walking on cement for some reason. But when I let them hands go, it's crazy. Danny has one of the meanest left hooks in the welterweight division, but now he's at 154, I believe. But like, he had I'm telling you, his power that he had was impressive. But it's like, when he had the big fights, no showing. You know what I mean? And Angel, it seems like Angel is there for the distractions, and then I'm like, is Angel really his trainer? Like, I don't think so, but I think, for image and everything, like, Angel's in the corner, but I don't really think Angel is really training him like that, and even and if he was, that explains why in the big fights, Danny doesn't have that extra pair of eyes to tell him what to do, and so at least with Kenny Porter, like, I know a lot of people was upset with Sean Porter's last performance and that Kenny called the fight, you know what I mean? But at least after, when they talked about it, Sean even explained, like, Kenny told him, like, hey, if you're looking like this, I'm gonna call it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I love you. I love my grandkids. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. I can respect that, Teofimo Lopez Sr., as much as people want to hate on, Junior's behavior, I don't think it's due to the fact of Teofimo, Senior. You know what I mean? And you could tell Teofimo Sr. is trying to keep his son centered, with all the family issues and all of that. He's like just keeping his son focused for boxing. So I gotta respect that. And John Fury, I mean, I haven't seen Fury, Tyson Fury lose yet. So clearly, out of all of them, I'm like, hey, John Fury's not that bad of a guy. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Angel, I've seen Danny just make so many mistakes in the big fights, and you rarely hear any real major adjustments from Angel. Angel's the type of dude to just say, yo, hit him. Like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the problem that I have with Angel Garcia. So Angel, man, I'm sorry. And I like Angel's personality, but when it comes to him as a corner person, get him out of there.
All right, Ned the TVE.
All right, let's go down the list. G said Angel. His son's still active, so that gives him a reason to be in the sport of boxing. Give John Fury, he got Tommy and he got Tyson maybe little Timmy around the corner about to grow up and get puberty and get in the ring. You got Teofimo, who's still young. He's still going and he's doing his thing. But Kenny, your son retired like 2 years ago. We don't need you no more. And that's who I'm eliminating is Kenny Porter. Because he got no dog in this fight. He don't got to worry about Sean. He don't got to worry about Sheen. He don't worry about Shane.
We're saying you eliminate his contributions to boxing from his. So although his son is retired, we're saying you're going to eliminate all his contributions from the history of boxing, basically.
If we do that, we'll get rid of a lot of headbutting. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Like Kenny, as much as you've done with the sport, much respect, much do. I could do away with you. And if that means if we do away with Kenny, we do away with Sean, say no more. But that's the father I feel we need to take away from the sport of boxing. It's Kenny. But that's all. Go ahead, G.
I'm just saying, you do know Kenny Porter was like one of the coaches for the Olympic team. He coached a lot of guys, not just his own son. You know, he gets a lot of respect from a lot of dudes. So I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, you can still think the way you think. I'm just saying, it's not like
I'm just saying the Olympic team. When has the Olympic team done anything professionally? Like in professionally in boxing, professionally in any sport, when they perform in the Olympics, it don't count. Like they could lose. They could lose to Wuhan, China. They could lose to Argentina. But as soon as they win a championship, they're the GOAT. That's what I'm saying. When has that mattered? G, I'm waiting for a response. Don't nod your head. Just I need a response.
Yo, my bad. I wasn't listening to you. My fault. I'm so sorry.
All right, I'm done.
All right, so erasing the contributions from boxing, man. I'm sorry. I can't get rid of Kenny Porter because Kenny Porter slapped barbershop conversations. He straight slapped.
That. Yeah, that was crazy.
And Kenny Porter, Kenny Porter's given me some good laughs over the years, man. So I can't get rid of Kenny. I don't like his stoppage with Sean Porter versus Terrence Bud Crawford, but I do believe it came from a place of love, probably a place of ego as well, in control, but still a place of love. And, to be a father is to have, ego somewhat. So I can't get rid of Kenny Porter, man, mainly because I don't think he's been a hindrance to Sean Porter's career. I think he kept him on track, and he always did what he had to do. And plus, I know that Kenny Porter also brought in other fighters and other trainers to work with his son. Like he would bring in like Shane Mosley, and he did everything he could. Like you brought up him being on the Olympic team. He had Sean around other fighters and other trainers to help his career. So I think Porter has been a really good guy. Teofimo Lopez Sr., I'll get back to him. Big John Fury. I think Big John Fury is really a character, but I think he does this to ease the pressure off his kids. Like when people talk about John Fury and his antics at the press conference, I watch him and I think like he does it to ease the tension, and he knows that like it's going to sell the fight. Even most recently, you can pull it up when he went on that rant on the stage when Logan Paul was going to fight Dylan Dennis. It was right when Dylan Dennis was starting to talk about Logan Paul's fiance. And you can just tell that Big John Fury thought it was corny and he felt like it was uncomfortable. So he went on this rant, well, I'm the best man in here and whatever. And he kind of took over the press conference. And then when they interviewed him after, he said, you got people talking about people's girls and he was like, this is just ridiculous. And you could just tell. So I think his stuff is calculated. But as G pointed out, his sons, they're succeeding. And so for that reason, you got to give Big John Fury his props. Angel Garcia,
keep it a buck.
He would get rid of Angel. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think there's no Danny Garcia without Angel. I think Danny fought for his pops, man. I think Danny loves his dad. I think Danny loves his family. I think the story of his dad inspired him. And even if you look at the fight with Amir Khan, it was Angel Garcia who worked Amir Khan up to the point where he went in that ring to step forward and knock Danny Garcia out and actually got caught by Danny Garcia. So if Angel Garcia is guilty of anything, I think he goes overboard sometimes in the press conference, like borderline offensive, trying to sell fights. But that's because he knows that Danny's not going to do it. It's just like I gave John Fury props. I think Angel Garcia knows that in order to have a successful fighter and a successful event, you have to go viral. You have to give the fans something. And I think he tries to do that, but sometimes he goes overboard and sometimes he has no filter or he does something that's politically incorrect. But with the exception of that, I don't think that, he's been bad for Danny Garcia's career. But we're going to go to Teofimo Lopez Sr. This is the guy I would eliminate. The reason why I would eliminate him is because despite what G has said, I do think he's been a nuisance on his son's career. I'll give you the examples. Even in the fight with Vasily Lomachenko, when Teofimo Lopez was dominating, his dad starts yelling, "It's a blowout! It's a blowout!" Teofimo Lopez starts yelling that. And from that moment on, Vasily Lomachenko starts whooping Teo's behind. It's like you motivated this dude. You should have just let the sleeping dog lie, but you start yelling, and then Vasily came out there, and Vasily almost pulled off the comeback, right? Although when Julie Letterman scored, Lord knows what she was watching, right? But Vasily almost pulled off the comeback. Then in the very next fight, now remember, ever since he beat Vasily Lomachenko, his dad's running around talking trash on top of the world. No one can beat my son. He's setting bad examples for his son. He's out there acting a fool. And plus, this dude's always drunk and everything. So then his son goes and his son fights. Remember the deal, what he did, right? Because his son was with ESPN. His dad is the one who talked him out of signing with ESPN, right? So then they go and they sign with the Zone on this deal to fight George Kambosos and whatnot. And what happens in his very first defense of all those titles? He gets beat by George Kambosos. And look at the way he started the first round. He started the first round like a complete moron against George Kambosos. He started the first round trying to knock you like he started the first round like worse than I never even seen Mike Tyson. He went out there like George Kambosos was an absolute scrub. Got dropped, and then that changed the course of the fight. Then he lost, and remember what he said. He said that he won like 13 of the rounds or something like that. The man was confused. Look at the way his dad was acting, right? You know what I mean? And then it set the spiral down, and then his dad starts talking, and then they got to go back to Top Rank, the place that they did all this, they forced this bid to leave. And remember, he put all this pressure on his son. He misled his son's career in that aspect. So then, you gotta look at it like that. Then he goes back to Top Rank, and he fights Sandor Martin, and it was a split decision. It was close, and many people think Sandor Martin beat him. He looked horrible. Then he looked horrible in another fight, and he was like, do I still got it? I don't know. And now he fights Josh Taylor, who's been on the decline, who's been inactive, and he beats Josh Taylor. And all of a sudden, people are singing his praises again. But we really don't know how good Teofimo Lopez is right now. And his career is nowhere where it should have been after beating Vasily Lomachenko. And I gotta say, a lot of it's due to the poor leadership of his dad. Even his dad doing interviews. Oh, the black fighters. Then you hear Teo talking about the black fighters. He's getting all the
actually, that last point, I was rocking with you until that last point. I think Senior saved his son because
he started it first. Trust me.
But they intentionally was trying to pin Junior to say stuff about black fighters. And his father stopped him.
But who said it first? His father. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yeah. It's like, it's like me starting the fire and then you giving me credit for putting it out. Like, yo, I intentionally start the fire in his house, and then I go run, and I go get the water hose, and then I put it out, and it's like, yeah, he did start the fire, but to his credit, he put it out. Like,
remember, because at that time, Junior was like, "Yo, Dad, let me talk." Like I got this.
yeah, but that was after a series of interviews, particularly done with my man Punch Drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Punch Drunk was the one who was putting these interviews out, who was getting the interviews, and Lopez Sr. was interviewing with Punch Drunk, and he was talking about how they're trying to promote the black fighters, man, blah blah blah. And then Tio was in the car with him, and that's when Tio started jumping in and saying his little stupid stuff. It was at the guidance of his dad, and it wasn't until later his dad finally smartened up and was like, "Yo, they're trying to destroy us. This is why they're asking us these questions." But it was like, dumb. If you were a smarty, you would have saw this coming from the beginning, which is my point on how this dude has been cancerous to his own son's career. Then his son gets the belt and beats Josh Taylor and says, "Oh, I'm retired now. I'm retiring." And then the WBO goes, "Okay, you retiring? We coming, whatever belt we coming to collect." And he goes, "Oh no, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to continue my career." His dad has been. What are you talking about? His dad hasn't been guidance at all. I think of all these fighters that you just named, Teofimo Lopez would have been the most successful if he had someone else guiding his career, and that is why I think that I would get rid of Teofimo Lopez Sr. I think Tyson Fury's already great. I think Sean Porter, he maximized his potential under Kenny Porter. And if you gave him a different trainer, I don't think he would have been much better. Danny Garcia, the same thing. I think Teofimo Lopez would have been a superstar with different guidance. Go ahead.
But you got to give this man credit. He got his son to be almost undisputed champion in 2 divisions. Come on, son. You got to
go. So it's like,
show love, just throwing it out there.
I guess that's one way you can look at it.
Yeah, I thought we were talking currently. I was thinking all time or overall like accomplishments. That's why I was like, Kenny got to go because his son's done. His son's not even fighting no more. So like, get him out of here. But I feel your argument, Kaden and G. You got an argument as well, but.
It's all good.
But I'm just saying, but if you look at the fighters' accomplishments, right? Like, Tio did pretty good for his career. Like, if he ends his career right now, he's pretty good. You know what I mean?
Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame?
Is that a test? But is that
Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame? Yeah, he's gonna be.
Okay, but does that?
No, he's not.
Look at yo.
Talking about.
Yo, look at. You just said.
That's wild. Hall of Fame. You just said Teofimo's in the Hall of Fame.
I said he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm saying if he
he's
retired tomorrow,
fighter, why would he be in the Hall of Fame right now?
Tio will go to the Hall of Fame. But here's what's funny. Here's what's funny.
No. G said, restate your question, G. If he
retired, I didn't state the question. You made the question.
I said Hall of Fame.
And I said yes, he will be in the Hall of Fame. And I said yes, he will.
Let's get back to this real quick.
That's crazy. He's
what's
not
funny about you, G?
Tomorrow.
What's funny about you, G? Is you said that Angel Garcia is the type of one who be like, "Yo, you got to punch him in the face," right? Yeah. That's exactly Teofimo Lopez Sr. said worse.
I ain't gonna lie.
He said worse in the corner.
I'm not saying Teofimo's the best.
Hold on.
He ain't the worst on that list.
So hear me out. What I'm saying to you is, I think Teofimo Lopez is talented, and I think he's a great fighter, and I think he would have done this without his dad. And I think if you removed his dad from his career, I actually think he would be more successful. I actually think that he would be more further along in his career than he actually is right now. Look at the way Bill Haney is doing his thing with Devin, for example. And that's why Bill Haney's not Bill Haney protects Devin. Bill Haney jumps in front of bullets for Devin. And I feel like Teofimo Lopez Sr. has guided his son in so many moves, like from jumping promotional companies to taking bad fights to saying stupid things during interviews, and I just feel like, yo, he's hurt the marketability of his son. He's hurt potential. You talk about boxing, but the earning potential is in the endorsements. Look how much money Canelo makes off endorsements, AJ makes off endorsements, and like how much money is Teo making off of endorsements, and how much of that is due to the fact that he's been following his dad's lead. So when you look at Danny Garcia, I think Danny Garcia has peaked in his potential. Could he have done a little more? Maybe, but maybe he could have done more against Thurman. But at the time, he what was he gonna do? Like, I think he beat Sean. So what was he gonna do? I think Danny has been reached his maximum potential. If you're telling me which one of these dads has messed up their kid's career, I'm telling you, I think it's Teofimo Lopez Sr. That's why he's the dad I would get rid of.
I said 50-50. The same argument.
I'm not saying Angel was the best thing for. I'm not saying Angel was the best thing for Danny, but if anything, I feel like Angel should have let someone else step in and deal with like the training and everything with Danny. But at the same time, I do see the benefits of what Angel has done for Danny's career. Like Angel's trash talking made people want to see Danny and the casuals, whatever. Kind of like how LeVar Ball's trash talking catapulted his kid's career, like like Lonzo and LaMelo. But Teofimo Lopez Sr.'s trash talking just almost got his son canceled and made his son enemies. And it was like, yo, this dude has not been like, even when he's talking trash to Vasily, it's like you motivated Vasily to almost beat up your son. Like, yo, I'm just saying the dude hasn't been good for his son's career, in my opinion.
Yo, hold on, man. Yo, time out. How come Lomachenko's dad ain't on this list?
Who, Papachenko?
Yo, what Papachenko do?
Hold on. Let G cook real quick.
Papachenko, whatever you say. The reason why he has to go is because when he did the Teofimo fight, right? He was foolish enough to let his son take the 12th round off. And then you would think they would have learned from that, the entire squad, right? His whole team should have learned from this. No. When he goes against Devin Haney, they do the very same thing. This dude literally, Papa whatever, allowed his son to lose to two guys because he wanted to be nice. Yo, bro, he got to go. You're not tough enough. You're not thug enough to be my trainer. You know what I'm saying? You got my man playing chess during training camp. He should be learning how to finish fights. You know what I'm saying? He got to go. I take a complete apology to my man Danny Garcia. I totally forgot about this dude, Papachenko. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to put it out there. Papachenko, you out of here, bro. Your son will never be undisputed. Never. You know what I mean? But proceed.
Watch your mouth, G. I'm serious. Watch your mouth. You don't disrespect and slander Lomachenko like that.
Was it slander or was it honesty?
Has earned their right in the talks of like fathers who done great and
you know what that showed me that he earned his right
mouth
to be a closer. You know what I'm saying? Like he respectfully earned his right to not.
And here go G. G. Soon as you got a peace treaty, you want to send shots their way. What happens next happens next, G.
So let us know which dad or which father in boxing you think has to go, even if we didn't include them on this list. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, hitting the like button goes a long way. We found that out last week. When you hit the like button, it really does help get the video to more people. So if you can, hit the like button. And if you dislike something that was said by most likely G during this segment, you can hit the dislike button as well. All right. Thank you for watching. We are the Boxing Bros.